this meeting and agreeing to eat the food that I cooked all night and listen to me speak. I want to thank Rita and I want to thank Michael because I've interacted with them both a lot. And Luce as well, especially I was at Luce's house giving her an estimate as a matter of fact. But these guys here are very, very special and you're very, very lucky to have them because they do what they do and they do what they do with their heart and their soul. And I think both of them deserve a very strong I was a part of Red Day, and it was so fulfilling because I didn't do one, I did 4. Wow. Because Cousins USA, Moving in Storage, and Stevens Van Lines believes in the Keller Williams culture and what you guys stand for and the level of integrity. And I think that's why our relationship is growing by leaps and bounds and becoming stronger and stronger. Okay? We contributed water because I wanted to be there and do a little bit more physical labor, but I had to split myself up between 4 offices. We did the Florida Lego room at the Boys and Girls Club of America. I bought shirts for one office because I couldn't be there. They were in Miami. And we did work at a senior center. So Cousins and Stevens is not only there to say, gimme, gimme, gimme. We want to also give back to you all and give back to the community. And it's run by 2 boys. Initially, I think it was Cousins, and the Cousins retired, so you got the 2 boys. But you know what? Their parents raised those boys right. And I believe that success and money and all of these things come to you if you're always doing the right thing. And I'm proud to say that I work for a company that, yes, they do the right thing. Okay, so they're not present, but I'd like to give them a round of applause. How many of us in this room have moved? That's it? Well, I can say I moved a couple of times for all of you that didn't move. It's a nightmare. That's not a positive word, but how many of you, was anybody here Bold a couple of weeks ago when I was there? Woo! Okay. I looked like who did it, ran and wide, got up and left, and never came back. I moved the weekend before Bold. That was... I couldn't find my blow dryer, I couldn't find my makeup, I couldn't find anything. And that's because I did things that everything I suggest to people not to do, I did it anyway. I did my way. But I wasn't going to let anything stop me from being involved. We at Cousins USA Moving in Storage and Stevens Van Lines do whatever we can to try to simplify that process and make it as seamless as possible for that homeowner or business owner, because we do a lot of commercial as well. I sit with the clients. I myself will go out and sit with your clients. I go over tips on packing. I give them a suggestions for little tips and things like that. They have options of us packing, them packing. I have little cheat sheets that I hand out to them. And it helps them. And they understand the art of packing. And I can email these to you all. I have a basket there. You can drop off your cards if you'd like, so I can get you this information via email. It helps. It helps to simplify the process, believe it or not. We also have a moving checklist. This really helps them. Because no matter how hard someone tries to stay focused and organized, you're always going to miss something. And if anybody lives a life of, working mom, you got the dad, you got kids, you're running around, we have a moving checklist that helps them as well. It's a 30-day calendar prior to moving. I sit down with the clients and I talk to them. I want to find out what's important to them. What do they have that's of value? And I'm not talking monetary value. They may have things that are priceless. They want to know these particular items are going to be handled with care. Which leads me to speak of our employees. Yes, employees. Our men, our movers are employees. We don't go to Workforce One and say, you need 5 guys to move some stuff today. All right? They have all had level 1 background checks. They have all gone through random drug testing. But most of all, they're nice guys. And that's important to have men working for you on a day when a client's very stressed out, because they're going to be stressed out, because they can love you and they can love me, but if they don't like the men, we have a problem. Because the men are the ones that are interacting with them. They're really nice, they're courteous, they're polite. They take into consideration the level of stress that the client's dealing with, because they also get, there's times when, they'll catch the heat, because that's when the person's most stressed out. They know how to extinguish those fires and pride themselves in customer service with your client. What I want to do for you is I want to invite you all out on the day of a move. Okay? If you refer a client, that way you see how your client's being treated. How many people think that's important? To me, that's crucial. Because you don't want to refer a mover and then have a nightmare story, because just like in the mortgage business, which I did for 20 years, you're as good as your last deal. Well, we're as good as our last move. And if we're partners with Keller Williams International, I think we do a pretty good job moving. Okay? We handle moves for Keller Williams all over the country. We also give out information with these packets. If it's a long distance move, if they're moving interstate, they get these rights and responsibilities. This is mandated by federal law. So if they're getting estimates and the movers that are coming out to give them estimates don't give them these books, there's something that's not right, because by federal law, they're there to have these books. Okay? They get different perks by being a Keller Williams client. They get $75,000. I wish it was $750. $75,000 replacement value. Okay? At no cost. It's a $250 deductible, but they get no cost just because they're a Keller Williams client. Does anybody have any questions? There's just so much to cover. There is an art to moving. And there's really an art to packing. There's different options. We partial pack, we full pack, or we don't pack at all. It's up to the client. We customize everything for their needs. They get priority dates as far as reservations, because they are a Keller Williams client. They get that full plate, the $75,000 replacement value coverage. I will go out, and sometimes I give them free boxes. I give them wardrobe boxes for free. Loaners, if they're moving local. We also have coupons, which are kind of, this I pulled out of my bag, but I have nice ones in my bag. These are expired, but we're honoring these for Keller Williams clients only. We decided to make it a full promotion just for them. Okay, and it depends on which one they choose to use as far as the value of the coupon. I have one more little chat speed here. How many of you have used a super lockbox? Never. How many of you have been there with a buyer in front of a nice property, and the buyer's hot and they're ready to go and they're on fire, and you got to update the super and it doesn't work? Has that ever happened to you? Yes. I've been in the business a long time, I know. Technology, it has glitches. It fails, correct? How many think that the old-fashioned lock boxes still have some type of a value? Yes. Unless you forget the combination, you're all right, right? Small detail. For each booked move, and you give me 10, you get 10. You get these lock boxes, and they have the Keller Williams logo on it. Okay? Now, we were smart. I kept it 000. But I know, I've been through that. And years ago when Super first came out, and now I see people on their phones and they try to update the Super, and it doesn't always work, and they have a hard time. The buyer gets impatient. You know, you don't want that to happen. Sometimes Good old fashioned back to basics works. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Does anybody have any questions? Because I know you're probably all hungry. Yes?
Is there a limit, like, for their move, so that we can get the box? Is there like
More than $30.
Minimum.
Well, what we, okay. What we do is, we have minimum. We do have minimums. We have 2 and 3 man minimums. Okay? For 3 hours. So it's $425 or $505. That's like for something that's really simple, but let's say they need some boxes. I'll go out and I'll bring them, a handful of boxes. There's different things like Cuba. We move as far as international. I had at Bold, as a matter of fact, an agent asked me if I could help her with somebody in Venezuela, because we know everybody's trying to get it. Oh, by the way, yo hablo español. Okay, I know when I speak English, you can't tell, but I see yo hablo español. And I loved it when I came in, and who was on? Mark Anthony. That was awesome. We do move as far as international, so we have local, we have intrastate. Intrastate will also fall under cousins, because we can go to Florida line under cousins. And nationally, we do Stevens. Stevens has been in business for 114 years. And they're still family owned. We're family owned. And the best part about it is that you can't get me because I'm with a client. You can call the office and speak to one of the boys. Because they, like I said, they take pride in what they do. And they themselves will get on the phone and speak with you and help you if I'm not available. So boxes, there's no minimum. There is a minimum move. But as far as boxes, no. Any other questions?
Actually, we're going to have to go on.
Okay.
And you're going to be staying during the lunch.
I'm
Make
gonna
sure you
eat.
ask all the questions that you need to ask. Not take my high heels for you during the lunch. Okay, so let's all take her.